for coming. As you all know, the three councillors are definitely behind you on this one. As you probably already know as well, with permitted development rights, we ain't got a lot of say. So we're basically residents, the same as you. But so long as we're here, backing you. Now, you might have not noticed me here before, and that's because I've been working behind the scenes just as much as we am, because we do keep in contact between the three of us. Cameron is our social media guru, and we said a long time ago, when we do things like this and we're engaging with the public, the best way to do it is have one focal point who actually does the writing, answers you. So he's a fantastic counsellor and he does work very, very hard. But we are behind the scenes working as well. So I thought I'd come down and say hello this morning myself. I have been down last week and a couple of times collecting the money and that sort of thing with Corrie, who is absolutely fantastic, and Helen and Sharon, who have been doing a fantastic job collecting the money for us. So hopefully, I think Cameron's going to give us a little bit of update on the legal side, because he's very lawyer savvy, so he knows all the legal jargon sort of thing. For myself, I've been obviously monitoring. I can get answers quick. So when I put my emails into the officers who dealing with actually put the permits, I can get answers quick. So that's what we've been doing, getting answers quick. As far as I understand it, my last update from Andrew from the highway side of it, who does the permits, he said Briss have not cancelled any permits, but they might be changing the way. He doesn't know what's happening, same as we don't know what's happening at the moment, but they might be changing the way that they use their strategy, because of the work that's gone on round Heronswood, around that side a week and a half ago, is it now? Which was, I think they should put the woolies up them a little bit, so they haven't cancelled any, but they haven't put any on either at the moment. So we are looking at it. So if there's anything to obviously update you on, Cameron will do it on the WhatsApp group. Cameron, have you got anything to say on the legal side? Because
okay, legal side, we've sent everything we had in regards to the injunction to the barrister. She has requested about a week. You want me closer? Okay. Take two. Everything's been sent off to the barrister. We're just literally waiting for her to come back in regards to the point I raised. She did want almost a week, which is understandable. So at the moment, that's where we are with that. Now, two sides to that. If the barrister does come back, says we haven't got any points there, we've got to instruct a solicitor, which we've already kind of got on board anyway. They will prepare a file, then send it back to the barrister for it to go to court. So at the moment, it's all just been literally back and forth, preparations. So bear with us on that aspect of it, and I'll keep you updated on the WhatsApp group in relation to that side. Corrie, do you want to jump in on the images and what we're going to be doing?
Yeah. So we've got some before and afters here. I think everyone can imagine what it will look like if we don't stop them, but just so you can.
These are for court as well, aren't they? So
yeah, they are. Yeah, we can do more. So if if anybody specifically wants their road representing before and after, we can do that to show how potentially your road will look if POS go up. Okay. I'll just put these on the grass so you can have a look.
So this is going to be like part of the evidence. So we are going to show the estate aerial view, street by street, of how it looks now and how it would potentially look with poles and wires, which we feel would be a good impact. It's a visual impact for the judge and everyone.
okay, so Withermore, the earlier stages of Withermore did have telegraph poles, and we have had a few brisk ones. Unfortunately, I live on the earlier stage, so I have telegraph poles in my street. But one of the planning, then this is the frustrating part of being a councillor. Now normally, the three of us, we do get stuck in, and if there's anything in council that we can help you with, we can. This one, because it comes from the bureaucratic side of government, and they want to roll it out as quick as possible, they put permitted development rights on it, which totally takes out our local planning authority. Our officers up in Dudley are as frustrated as we am about it, because they're local people, they're just the same as us, they're local people. And one of the things that we do is when we have planning applications come through council, one of the material considerations. Sometimes there's moaning that goes on from people from objections. What the planning officers do, they look at material considerations. The material considerations are the ones that we can actually block. With the local Black Country core strategy, with the local plan, the local NPPF, the framework that we've got locally, we can actually stop things from going ahead. Done it in Clockfields, I've done it in loads of areas around Amblecote over the years. This takes us out of it, and it's absolutely, it's agonisingly frustrating for us. But the one thing I do say is, because visual amenity is normally a planning consideration, my argument, and I have been, and we've been arguing the fact that visual amenity, because it is a material consideration, why all of a sudden it isn't? Just because somebody down bloody south tells us that it's something they can do.
Yeah.
That's not fair.
No.
And that's why we've got to, we've got an argument here. I believe we've got an argument. It's not just us. This is a national rollout. We've got places in Kings Swinford, Warleith. We've had places in Pedmore that have put injunctions. We know that some injunctions do work, and that's why we're trying to push for something a little bit stronger than what, instead of as brave as our local residents are standing in front of lorries. It's not I wouldn't class it as, it's something that we can't publicly condone as councillors, but all I can say is visual amenity is a material consideration. We don't own the air, but we do own, like most of our estate now have never had any telegraph poles. We've never had, this isn't Thailand, this isn't 1950, you know what I mean? So the fact of the matter is, I believe we've got an argument. So long as we stick together, and so long as that we keep shouting as one, I think that we got a good chance of doing this. But never any promises, never promise to do, bro. We always promise to try, and that's all we can do from this situation. But I'm not. I only found out about this meeting yesterday, but I wanted to come down and say hello, just so you know that there are three of us. But Cameron is our main voice on this one. So, is there anything else that anybody wants to add?
It's just one of the interviews. I need a couple of you.
Is Suzanne already in contact with the lady in Parliament about all this?
Suzanne has sent her apologies this morning. As you're probably all aware, there's an election going on, so there's a lot of campaign, and that's where we were this morning, right, delivering. But
In regards to...
I'll ask her.
No, I think there won't be, because Parliament's dissolved.
Oh,
Parliament's dissolved, so you can't.
There won't be any questions.
There won't be.
This is voted out.
Currently there's no MPs. With Parliament being dissolved.
Yeah,
he's a Labour candidate interested, or if we don't hear anything
by some chance that Suzanne is voted out, the first thing that was councillors in Amblecote's going to do is going to go and say
Susan's
hi
been quite
and make best
active with
friends
us,
with the one who actually is standing. Fingers crossed, Suzanne will still be with us, because she is a strong voice, and she does get her points over. What you've got to understand is, within politics, it's not always what happens in front of you, it's what happens behind the scenes that matters, and that's where the main discussions go on. The rest of it, for me, just posturing, you know what I mean? So, are there any questions from anyone? No. Whether it's a red
It's going to carry on regardless.
yeah, but this is where it gets a bit the work over the years, when we're doing the 5G rollout, fibre rollout, all that sort of stuff, it's all done by the bureaucrats, so the officers. The officers do the work, then it goes to whoever, and then it just gets the nod through. So the decisions makers are the MPs. I don't know if it's Michael Gove or whatever, but whoever's nodded this through wants, I would not be on friendly terms with them. But so soon, somewhere in the government, it's got to be a Conservative MP has nodded this through, and that's the argument. Okay, brilliant. Nationally, you ain't here looking at it, as far as I'm concerned. And so I am very, very much against that. We all am here, aren't we? Suzanne is obviously taking the stance that she is with us, she is against them, she understands the visual amenity situation, and it's just wrong to do it. So for me personally, I'm not asking anybody politically, but for me personally, she is still in position, because she's a useful girl, obviously someone that she's in the position to do the national stuff. I'm not, none of us three are in the national, we can help you locally. When it comes from national, it's just hopeless. Are there any more questions?
Any feedback on the Broadway injunction?
You know, to stop them putting the poles up in.
At the moment, they've got the one injunction. They're raising funds for judicial review.
Right.
Judicial review will take a while.
Yeah.
So it's going to be one of those
So
of...
there's nothing we can take from that yet to help our case, really. That's what you're
I've
saying.
taken 1 or 2 points which have been sent, which is mainly the visual. But theirs was a different process. Their planning department had already made a decision before anything came
I
through.
understand.
So it's completely
The injunction
different.
Isn't against the pole itself, so it's just the local authority.
There was a little error on the authority side
yeah.
for them. But at that moment for that one, we're probably looking at about 6 months at least. So, but I am keeping an eye on that
In
one.
the 6 months, does that mean that no action can be taken?
They've got the temporary, yeah, they've got the temporary injunction. That's what we're trying to do. So if we can get a temp, then we can try and change the law later. With them, same with Hill, I think it is. They're at the same process. So currently, the advantage we have is they're all in Birmingham planning, and that's where we're going to be going. So we might end up with a similar judge that's already looked at 2 applications, and this one will be the 3rd one, and it might be in our favour. But obviously, that's all down to the judge, really.
Thank you.
Do we know who allowed them to bring the permits forward?
Who allowed them to bring the permits?
Yeah, they brought some permits forward for some of the roads down Lakeside.
Kirkstone Way, yeah.
So who allowed that?
There's no permit to put forward. It's not on the council
There
system.
was some permits brought forward.
No. Now what you've got to realise is they haven't been stopped from working on the underground structure. I've had the conversation with them. I've said to them, we've got no problem if you're building underground structure. So that could potentially be on that side. But in regards to poles, nothing's been brought forward. They are going to be working on the estate for the underground, which we haven't got a problem with. Poles wise, it is all on hold at the moment.
We have made it clear to everyone that we're not against the fibre rollout. We all need it. It's the future. We've got to have it. It's how they're doing it that we're against.
I had an email from them recently saying that the problem is actually getting from the post office ducts to the premises, and that a lot of people on the estate have £20,000 drives that they're not willing to dig up to do it. Is that a viable excuse for them to use?
Not for me, no. For me, I mean, let's face it. Was it over 20 years ago? We had not Virgin. I forgot the name.
Cable, wasn't it?
Black Country Cable.
Telewest, yeah, that's it. They went down the street. I was living around here then, up the road, and they was going down, driving us all mad because they were going down on the pavements, dust everywhere. We can see why now, but they didn't take the shortcut. Now, once the cable's in there, now obviously we need the fibre now, so we need something a little bit better. But at the same time, Virgin, when they come along, 6 inches, front of the ground. As far as I'm concerned, if they took the attitude of perhaps using the Toby boxes, perhaps using the underground structure, which they don't want to pay for, well, tough. We want to make them pay. That's what I want to do. But they can still do the same sort of thing. I mean, if people have got a problem with their drives, which, you know, understandably, then usually there's a bit of grass or there's usually somewhere that they can duct and channel just to get it up to the house. So no, I don't agree with that.
About 2 inches below the surface.
They do, well, my Virgin, I found it quite easily, to be honest.
We prodded ours when
and
we
potentially
raised
change
the
their name.
Sorry?
If Brisk potentially go ahead with this merger and put all of their business under the new umbrella company, have we got plans in place to make the injunction stay in place no matter if Brisk say tomorrow?
Short answer to that, yes, I planned that 3 weeks ago before the merger.
I knew you would, but I wanted to.
We're already covered. And what you've got to realise is we are not against Brisk.
No.
Our injunction or our legal case is for telecommunications poles. Because if I go against one company, 6 months down, you might have another company coming in. So it's best to call it telecommunication poles. That is what we're going for. So we don't have that little error. So your question was prepared 3 weeks ago.
I don't know whether this is a fact. I don't know whether this is a fact yet. I haven't researched it, but according to one of the hustings that was had, one of the candidates turned around and said on the legal side that the poles are treated as an asset to the company. So each pole they put in goes in their accounts as an asset. So, and they were saying how hard it's going to get these companies to stop putting in poles because they literally treat it as cash in their accounts, and that might be more of a driving factor for them than anything we're doing. And until, like you're saying, until somebody at the top of the tree
listens. But the only way we're going to get people at the top of the tree to listen is by doing what we're doing.
Yeah.
Because as I say, we've been took out of it as councillors, and that really does. I have said some blue words in the past about it.
So have we got to buy some orange paint?
Sorry?
We're going to buy orange.
No comments.
I wouldn't go. We couldn't say that anyway. But a question was asked at the police surgery a couple of weeks ago. Can we chop the telegraph poles down in front of the police sergeant? And basically, he wouldn't say he was for it or against it, but he did say just use your common sense. Well, I took that as well. You know, I'm going to go and buy a hatchet and say, you know. But,
He's got like birds.
yeah, no. Any more questions, guys?
Helen's got some updates for us. Do you want to come forward,
Can
Helen?
I just first of all, on behalf of us all, thank you so much for the donations. I mean, last Saturday was horrendous out there in the rain for all of us. But, you know, as a community, to think over the last few weeks, we've just got over £4,000. That is huge. So honestly, thank you very much for that. And secondly, I put on the group about roads that we haven't got complete petitions for. If anybody can help with that, that'd be really, really appreciated, because when this goes to court, we can't just say this road, like Brompton Drive has got X number of signatures. We need to say, we need to have data to show for every house. So either they're for polls, against polls, or there's no response. For our data to be watertight in court, we need to have evidence for every single house. So if anybody can help finish off those petitions, that'd be really, really appreciated. And then also, I'll put on later the houses that have got the roads that have got no petitions. At the moment, I think we've got 67 roads in Withymoor with petitions, and about almost 50 of those are now complete. So that's amazing. And then the other really, really good news is last night I spoke to Dave Shepherd, who's updating all the database for us. As we stand now, there is 99.2% of Withymoor against the polls. So it is a massive thank you to everybody who's done the mop-up petitions and the petitions. If we can get the rest of the mop-ups done and any more petitions done, that can even get closer to 100%. So because of that, 99.2% have actively signed to say they don't want the polls in over 66, 67 I think it is streets. And we haven't even got 100 streets in Withymoor, so that is amazing. So that's some really, really good news, so thank you.
Thank you for everything.
Yeah.
Let's try and get that closer to 100.
No, thanks for that, Ellen. And for me personally, I think you're all doing a fantastic job. We've had problems over the years, big and small. We've had travellers, if you remember right, we've had travellers, we've had antisocial behaviour, we've had lots of different issues that we've all dealt with. But this that I can see is the first time that it involves all of us. Because usually it's just a catchment area that it involves. This involves all of us. Now, not everyone's on the same tune as us. That's absolutely fine because it's a free country. That's you know, I've got no problems with that. But 99.2% is absolutely fantastic. And I do congratulate all of you for being part of it. I'm a very pessimistic optimist. So bear with me. If we do win the court case, then the money will be coming back to you. We have tried to decide whether we're going on holiday or a great big Amblecote party, you know.
That sounds
Go to Santander, past all the travel agents last night, yesterday with all my money.
But wouldn't that be lovely if we're in a position where we've actually won the court case? We can actually give you guys the money back because we have shown such commitment. And it's coming out in the rain last week. I mean, these guys. Honest to God. I mean,
And camera.
absolutely absolutely fantastic. But then obviously yourselves as well, because you were all coming out and getting drenched. If we'd have all known at exactly 12 o'clock that it was the sun was going to come out, we'd have done it 12 till 3, but we didn't know. So, unless there's any more questions, I think this is just a short meeting, just to have a little bit of a catch up and just, you know, just to make you all come and meet us and just say hello. Anything you want to ask, you can. Yeah. Oh, sorry.
If it's not a silly question, Paul, with 99.2%, how likely is that to affect the judge on the injunction? Or will it just go on what's written down in law?
I'll be honest, I don't know.
Legal side we can't comment on.
Because it does come down to the individual judge on some
It's the
cases.
judges, it's the law, so on that I would never say to you we're guaranteed the injunction. It's we can present the strongest possible case and that's all we can do.
But they will, I guarantee, pick up the Bible, their you know, legal Bible, and they'll just use
This is my Bible, this is my petition file.
Yeah.
Thank you, if you want to see it.
That's all the petitions there that Helen's got, so that's all going to be going to court as well. So obviously that is quite a lot there, and it's still building.
Yeah.
Can I get some people for a few interviews of why you're against polls? Because this is going to be all going towards the court. Don't all volunteer at once.